Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening. If you are here today, you are my special guest, and I welcome you all to tonight's meeting. So very quickly, we're going to be talking about the tips and the tools for hosting, engaging, and productive online meeting and events, right? So that's our topic for today. We're going to be talking about the tips and the tools for hosting, engaging, and productive online meetings and events. And this meeting is powered by the Green Mondays Limited Company. So if you are a guest and you are in the house today, you're going to understand or have an idea of who the Green Mondays Limited Company is, what we do, and why you're enjoying this leverage, right? So very quickly, I would like to give us an overview of the rise of virtual meetings in response to the pandemic, right? So virtual meetings actually started, or probably it has been available right before the pandemic, but it started fully during the pandemic session. The COVID-19 pandemic has led to a dramatic rise in the use of virtual meetings as a means of communication and collaboration. During the lockdown, people were at home, businesses were shut down, because people could not transit from one place to another. But because of the virtual meetings, companies and businesses could thrive during this period, all thanks to the virtual meetings, right? So with the need for social distances and restriction on travel, many business and organizations and individuals have turned to virtual meeting platforms to stay connected with their team members, with their customers, and conduct meetings and events remotely, right? And virtual meetings have become a critical tool for maintaining continuity of business operations and fostering collaboration and productivity in a challenging and uncertain environment, right? And why is this virtual meeting important? It is very important because it is an important tool for communication and collaboration in today's digital age. Yes, with the help of virtual meetings, we can get to have meetings in Nigeria, and people from UK, from the UK, from America, from different part of the world can get to connect via the virtual meetings. Unlike the traditional face-to-face meetings where people will have to travel down from one country to another country all to attend meetings. But with the help of virtual meetings, people can join and connect wherever they are. They can get to build relationships. They can get to collaborate with each other through the help of virtual meetings. So it is very crucial for us to understand how to leverage these virtual platforms in order to, grow our businesses, in order to stay updated, in order to build relationships, collaborations, partnerships, and, strengthen communication within your team, within your business partners and customers, right? So what are the benefits of virtual meetings? Virtual meetings is convenient and accessible, right? Rather than you, traveling from one place to another or trying to attend a physical meeting, it is very convenient at the comfort of your home. You can get to, join, stream online, or get to engage with your customers, with your team members, with your partners online. So it is convenient. And I'm very sure that right now, as you're listening to me, you're listening from the comfort of your home, right? And that's with the help of the virtual platforms, right? And also virtual meeting is cost saving. Imagine you want to organize a meeting or a conference or event, for example. You will need to rent all. You will need to, put some things together, media, the team that's going to help work out to ensure that you have a successful meeting. All this cost has been reduced to zero with the help of the virtual platforms that we are all using today, right? So which is why it is crucial and essential for us to fully understand how to make use of these virtual platforms. And also it has increased flexibility, it has enhanced productivity, right? Instead of you thinking of the amount you're going to spend to organize a physical meeting or a physical event, at the comfort of your home, with your mobile laptop, with your mobile phone or laptop and internet, you can easily, connect with people, organize events and meetings, and then improve your productivity level, right? And also it helps you to connect with people globally. Like I earlier mentioned, I said that, you can be having a meeting in Nigeria and then someone from the UK is joining you in the meeting. Yes, this is possible via the virtual platforms. People no longer have excuses for not joining a particular meeting or for not attending a particular conference or event, right? With the help of the virtual platforms. So today in during this meeting, we get to understand the tips and the tools of how you can make use of virtual platforms and become successful and expert and just be good at what you're doing, right? So that's what we're going to be learning today. So first off, we need to understand the distraction that can disrupt meetings. It is very essential. Noise is number one. Background noise can be a major distraction during virtual meetings. So you want to ensure that when you want to organize a meeting, for example, you try to stay in a place that is conducive, quiet, far from distractions, far from noise, in order to ensure that your participants are not distracted. And also it helps you to focus when you are in a place where there is no noise or distraction, right? Interruptions from family members, co-workers, or pets can be a major distraction. So yes, if you want to organize a virtual meeting, the first thing you need to ensure is also to ensure that your family members are far away from you. If you have kids at home, you have husbands or wives that that may likely distract you, you can inform them ahead that you're going to have a meeting or you want to organize an event online and that you need them to stay away. You can distract them with so many other things so that you can focus on the meeting. So it is very important to ensure that family members don't interrupt, co-workers don't interrupt you during the meeting. Also, we have multitasking, right? Ensure that while you are trying to, organize a virtual platform or a virtual meeting, you are not doing something else. Some people can be trying to attend to their babies or be cooking while trying to, communicate with people online. So if you want to ensure that, if you want to have a smooth meeting or a smooth event online, then you need to avoid multitasking. Just focus on the training, focus on the presentation, focus on the event that you are holding online so that your participants can fully understand you or fully understand the message you're trying to pass across. And also you need to find a quiet place to present. Okay, I think I already mentioned that when I explained the noise. Find a quiet place to present, right? Don't present in the market or in your office. If you know that your office is going to be a distraction or your office there is always noise and all of that, you can avoid that. Find a quiet place for yourself and then go for the presentation or the event that you want to organize. If you are still with me, please kindly type a yes in the chat box so that I can know that we are still together. Please, I need to get a notification so that I know that. Okay, thank you so much, Madam Bumemojoko. Thank you, Mrs. Bukola Bamidele. Okay, so yes, what are the technical difficulties that can disrupt meetings? Poor internet network. Poor internet network. A poor internet network can cause lagging, freezing, and other disruptions during virtual meetings. Yes. So if you want to organize a smooth virtual meeting, you need to ensure that you have a good internet connection. So you can just test your internet before the meeting in order to avoid the internet logging you out of the meeting. Once your internet log you out of the meeting, it may sometimes destabilize you. It may sometimes disengage your participants from the presentation or the event. So in order to avoid this, you need to ensure that you have good internet connection. Also, audio and video issues. Audio and video issues can be frustrating and can cause disruption during virtual meetings. So these are the things you need to check before you can say, okay, fine, I want to have a virtual event or meeting, right? Check your audio, check your video. If everything is intact, then you are good to go. If not, you need to fix it before you start the meeting or the event. Software glitches, yes. You also need to check this as well, right? These are the things you need to check. You test your internet and your software before the event. Zoom is relatively stable, right? The Zoom platform is what we are using. So there is an option for you to use Zoom for 45 minutes for free. You don't need to pay. Although Zoom has its own paid service, right? But then if you want to make use of Zoom and then probably the meeting you want to organize is going to be a very short meeting, probably 30 to 45 minutes, then you can make use of the Zoom platform. Or you can also make use of Google Meet. Google Meet is a platform where you don't have to pay. You can spend 1 hour, 2 hours using Google Meet, right? You don't have to pay for it, but the clause there is that you may not be able to record while presenting, and also recording. Probably we also get to talk about this recording part during the course of this presentation, right? Recording is very essential. But however, if you know that you cannot afford the paid service for Zoom, you can make use of the Google Meet or the Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams too allows you to, interact with people virtually. But so far so good. Zoom is still the best platform. And yes, if you are a Green community member, a Green Mondays members, you can book a slot with the company with all the features for free. On Zoom, you get to record, you get to spend more than 45 minutes, you get to share slides and other things. So if you want to enjoy this benefit, you can contact the company. You can contact me, Olamichi Akeredolu, to book a slot, and then we check the dates that are available for you to make use of this Zoom platform for free. Yes. So also, how to overcome virtual meetings challenges and make virtual meetings successful. Yes, the first thing you need to do is to interact, encourage participation by interacting with your attendees, with your participants. You need to interact with them, share, let them share their opinions, get feedbacks from them, just like I did earlier. I tried to get feedback from us to know if we are still following the presentation. This is very important. Try as much as possible to engage with your participants or attendees, and also use videos, right? Use videos. Yes, use video. I know I'm a victim right now. I'm not making use, you're not seeing my face, but however, in order for you to interact with your attendees, for them to get to see the person presenting, and for the presentations to be more exciting, you can get to share your videos, and probably during the end of the meeting you can also tell them to share their videos, so you can see their faces, their reaction, body language, and all of that. And also, it is crucial that while you are presenting during an event or a meeting, share personal stories. This is very important because personal story connects with people differently. The conference we just concluded, we had external speakers that came on board to share their personal experiences with us. I think this is very important. So we need to adopt this method if you really want to ensure that your participants are fully engaged and you really want them to learn something. Then you need to share your personal stories with them. They can always remember stories. Stories are hard, like they're hard to forget, right? But if you want them to always remember a presentation or a particular point you're trying to pass across to them, then you need to ensure that you share your personal stories with them. If you don't have personal stories, you can share the stories of the people you know, right? If you have stories of people you know, you can always share that with them as well. Just always ensure that you engage with your team, with your attendees or participants, and also follow up after meeting. After the event, the online event or meeting, don't let it end there, right? After the successful presentation, I know you'll be so excited that, oh, I've blasted this presentation, I've done this, I've done that. Please ensure that you follow up with your attendees, with the participants. Follow up with them with a message, or yes, majorly message, right? It can be a WhatsApp message, it can be an email, just to build this personal connection with them. It helps. It really helps. They get to follow up the activities that you do on a daily basis, and whenever you have any other events or meetings online, they can get to participate, because you follow them up after the meeting. You didn't just abandon them. I'm very sure that most people here today, I'm sure that we also like people following up with us, probably after a particular meeting or after closing a particular sale or something. We always like follow up. So yes, in as much as we like follow up, let's also ensure that we are following up with our attendees and participants. If you are still with me, please type 111 so I can know that we are still together. And if you are gaining value, if you are learning something, please type 111 in the chat box so that I can know that we are still together. Thank you, Dr. Surex. Thank you, Mr. Oladipo Ayodele. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so what are the tips for planning and preparing a successful virtual meeting? Choose the right platform, right? It is very important. Choose the right platform. You don't want to use WhatsApp video calls or audio call for your meeting. You want to make use of the Zoom. You want to make use of either Google Meet or Microsoft Teams, depending on your need or goals for that particular meeting, right? Choose the right platform, and also set clear objectives and goals. Define the purpose and goals of the meeting and communicate them clearly to your attendees. You need to let them understand why they want to attend your meeting, why they want to attend your event. What are you convincing them with? What are you saying to them? What are you passing across to them? What are they going to learn from joining your meeting? You need to make this clear. Once the goals and objectives of them attending the meeting is clear, then you can have a successful virtual meeting. You know that you are speaking to the right target audience, right? But if the communication is not clear, if the goals and objective of the meeting or the event you are planning to set is not clear, then you may end up having the wrong target audience in the meeting. So you need to ensure that the goal and objective of you organizing the event or the meeting is clearly, or the goals and objectives are clearly known to your attendees. And also develop a clear agenda. Prepare yourself ahead. Develop the agenda. Probably, for example, conference, you want to ensure that maybe you'll be inviting external speakers. You need to communicate what they need to discuss in the conference, the time you are allotting to them, maybe 30 minutes, 1 hour, so they know ahead. When they are coming to present in your meeting, for example, they are presenting accordingly. They are presenting within the time range you gave them. They are presenting based on the topic you assigned to them. So these are clear agenda you need to prepare before you can have a successful virtual meeting or event or conference. And also prepare materials in advance. If you're going to need a presentation slides, document or videos, probably want to show them videos during the meeting, have that ready before the meeting, so that when you want to show the video, you don't get distracted or lost, and you fully understand where the video is or where the document is that you want to show them, right? Have all these things ready before the meeting so you can have a smooth meeting. And also test the technology. Yes, like I rightly said, test your internet connection, test your audio, test your video if you're going to be showing video. And in a case where while you're trying to show yourself, you understand that your internet is not stable, turn off your video, right? Turn it off so that you can have a smooth event. It's better for you to turn off your video and have a smooth event than for you to turn on your video and then people don't get to hear what you're saying, or they're not flowing with the message you're trying to pass across. So once you do all these things, you're on your way to having a successful virtual meeting. And so, yes, what are the overviews of useful tools and technologies for enhancing the virtual meeting experience? Right, like I rightly said, you need to get the right video conferencing platforms like Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Google Meet. They're essential hosting virtual meetings platforms that we can use. So yes, we can make use of any of these. And like I said earlier, if you are a Green Monday member as a distributor, you can contact me to get the Zoom login details, where you can have access to recording, sharing of slides, spending more than 1 hour in the meeting, and just for you to have a smooth conference meeting or event. And also screen sharing, like right now, I'm sharing my slides. I'm sharing the slides for this presentation. So yes, it is important that while you're trying to have a meeting or an event, you are sharing slides, you are sharing your screen so that people can follow you as you're talking. As you're talking, they are listening to you, and they are also listening to you, and they're also looking at the screen, for them to follow up with what you're saying or further understand what you're trying to communicate with them. And also the chat function, it's available for attendees to communicate with each other during the meeting without interrupting the speaker. I'm sure we might have dropped quite a number of things in the chat function, but then I am not easily distracted because the chat option can be available for attendees. But since I'm presenting as the speaker or as the host, I'm looking at my screen and I'm not distracted. So yes, the chat option allows attendees to communicate with each other during the meeting without interrupting the speaker. right? Recording and playback. Recording and playback features allow attendees to revisit the meeting. Like right now, I'm recording this meeting, which means that after this meeting, I'm going to make the recording available for people to revisit, so we can get to, probably get some key points that we might miss, or probably get to, further understand the importance or the tips and tools of having an engaging and productive online meetings and events. We can always go back to this recording to further understand some key and vital things that we want to know. So yes, so what are the key techniques for keeping attendees engaged and motivated throughout the meeting? Keeping attendees engaged and motivated throughout a virtual meeting can be challenging, right? But there are several techniques that we can use to achieve this. We have the interactive polls, where we get to, create polls, give people option, tell them to choose from the pool. This is an exciting way of engaging our participants. Also, we have the Q&A session, where people get to ask questions, in order for them to further understand what you're trying to communicate with them. We need to make this platform available as well. And also breakout groups. In a case where we are having an event or a conference, we can break them into groups, like the physical conference that happened last week, Thursday to Saturday. We add teams, we add groups. You can also do this online. You can break some people into groups where they get to interact with each other. That's if you're having a conference or an event, even meeting with your team members, for example, or your team members. Yes, you can break them into groups, give them topics or things to interact with, and then they get to present while in the meeting. This is possible. It's not just possible doing physical meetings, it's also possible virtually. You can do this virtually as well. And then you can also engage your participants with games, right? Giveaways. People love giveaway. People love giveaway. So you can always do giveaway. You can play games, quiz and all of that, just so that the meeting, the event, or the conference can be interesting, and also use virtual aids such as videos, graphics, animation to make the meeting more virtually engaging and interesting. So yes, so what are the tips for following up with attendees after meeting? Send a thank you email after the meeting. After the meeting, during before they can attend the event or the meeting, most people register ahead, right? Of course, this kind of meeting that we're having right now, nobody registered. But in a case where you want to have an event or a conference or an important meeting, or maybe you need their data, you can get them to register ahead. So once they register ahead, you have their data, you have their email address, you have their phone number that you can always send an email, just to appreciate them for attending the meeting. You can also provide them with the slides and presentation, with the slides, document, or probably video, whatever document you want to provide them with. It's easy for you to provide them with this document after the meeting via the data that you already have, and also share action items, conduct a survey after the meeting. You can get feedback from them after the event or conference, try to understand what you need to do, to know how you can improve subsequently, how you can do better and all of that. These are very important. Schedule a follow-up meeting. So once after the event or the conference that you've organized, you can schedule the next meeting. That is, if you want to be having this frequently, you can let them know ahead the next meeting date, so that they can plan ahead, right? And then it helps them a lot. They get to plan ahead, they get to prepare themselves and all of that. So these are tips for follow-up with attendees after the meeting. And yes, so what are the extra tips? I didn't write this here, but I'm going to say these extra tips. In a case where you're going to show your face, you need to ensure that you have a good background, right? You want to ensure that the background you are using is bright and clear. The background is presentable. If you want to have a very interesting meeting, a meeting where you want people to attend over and over again, you want them to listen to you, then you need to have a very good background. You can make use of a nice wallpaper, or decorate probably like a library, or just make use of a very nice background. right? And ensure you look good. Yes, look good while you want to have the meeting with your team members or with your guests. Look good, dress beautifully, right? And ensure that you have the ring lights or there is a light reflection so that you are your guests are seeing you clearly and not that they're struggling to see you. So these are like extra tips from me. And then you can give your attendees the opportunity to ask questions. Let them ask questions. You know, after presentation, people still want to get clarification on one or two things. So give them the platform to ask questions and close your presentation with a message, thanking them for attending the meeting, appreciating them for their time and their attention. This is very important. Do not end the meeting, an event or a conference without appreciating your participants, without appreciating your attendees. It is very, very important. Ensure that you appreciate them for their time and their attention. So yes, we've come to the end of the presentation. So that's it from me. I don't know if CM is with us now and he would like to share one or two tips with us. CM, sir, I don't know if you are here.
You don't know if I'm here?
Sir, do you have extra tips to share with us tonight?
Okay, good evening, everyone. If you have gained value, you feel that was valuable and useful, type 222 in the chat box very, very quickly. If it was useful, type 22222. Okay, I guess it was useful. Okay, so I just have one little thing to add tonight. And the question is, will you like to book a session? Do you want to start a meeting? You know, many people feel until I have 30 people that want to come for the meeting, I don't need a meeting. That's not true. Even if it's just 4 of you that want to meet, it's also good to do it on Zoom. If it's 3 of you that want to meet, it's not bad to do it on Zoom. If it's 2 of you that want to meet, it's not bad for you to meet. You know, I think from 3, actually, 2, you can do your WhatsApp video. But once you have like 4, 5 and above, then you want to really begin to book sessions and be able to host your events. And this is something we can help you with at the Green Mondays. I think this is beautiful because you can connect with some friends, call 3 or 4 people together. Many of us, we are not getting the maximum value we can get because we're expecting only big meetings before we have our prospect meetings. But the best prospect meetings are meetings where you have 4 members and 1 guest, where you have 3 members and 1 guest. You know, and you don't have to wait until you have 20 guests. In fact, according to Don Feiler, the sizzle sells the steak. It means you're likely to have you're likely to have a beautiful session. You know, the fewer the people you have in the session. So don't wait until perfect conditions to begin. You can start right away. You know, and you can start getting it better. You don't become perfect in one day. You know, the more you do, the more you do. So of course, Olamiji today has had to do the presentation from beginning to the end. That's basically just pushing her into it. You know, many times we give excuses, we are shy, we don't think we're qualified, we don't think we're ready, but you're ready. You just need somebody to push you. So I want to open this page today. I've put in 6 time slots from Monday to Sunday. I think Sunday is already taken. So Sunday you can replace the 6 p.m. with 8 p.m. 6 p.m. with 8 p.m. because MI already has 6 p.m. lockdown. I've removed all 8 p.m.s because we have 8 p.m. lockdown on Mondays and Tuesdays. But if you want to book a session, you and your friends, you want to form consistency doing online meetings, we have only 6 times 7. We have 42 slots. So 42 slots. And I'm sure a few people can share a slot and we can have more meetings happening. So if you have seen a time of the day that you like, I like us to just ginger ourselves by typing Monday 10 a.m. or Tuesday 2 p.m. or Wednesday 6 p.m. The beautiful thing is different parts of the world have different calendars at different times. So you can meet with people in the US at particular time belts because that's when they're just waking up. You can meet with people later in the day because that's when they close from work. You can begin to identify the timelines you can use, you know, to have meetings, to have events. So, you know, okay, good. So if you're here and there's a time slot that you think you want to use that looks like ideal or perfect for you, you can just share that time and say, you know what, this is the time I would like to begin to have my meetings. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't need 20 people, you don't need 40 people to start your meetings. If you have a meeting with 3 people, 3 members of your team, and a prospect, it begins to start. Okay, so I think I like us to just play around today and say, this is a time that I like. I like this kind of time. I can use 6 p.m. on Mondays, I can use 6 p.m. on Tuesday. The real booking is not in this session. The real booking will happen after the session, but you can already begin to see the time slots that are available that you can use to catch up with a friend, catch up with somebody. Anybody that has a phone, as basic as a phone, can be on Zoom. As big as a phone, you can use Microsoft Teams. As big as a phone, you can do Google Meet. You can leverage on your phone. Okay, our phone is what we have as phone today is more powerful than what we had as computers 15 years ago. When we started using computers and we felt, we had gotten an opportunity into something beautiful in the world. The phones today are more powerful than that. The phones have more memory, have more processing power, have more connectivity, have access to internet. What you can do with a phone today, you need to be a CIA person to do with a computer even 10 years ago. So, ladies and gentlemen, the time slots are available. You can begin to book your small meetings. You can begin to have collaboration, even with your team members. Even if all you have is 5 people in your team, okay? Even if just 5 people you have in your team, you can begin to have your team meetings leveraging on Zoom. So if you're here today and you would like to get a time slot to be able to do your Zoom meetings, just write number 5. Write 5 in that chat box as we wind this meeting to a close. Okay, you want to be able to do that, you want to be able to leverage, just put 5 there. You won't have a meeting happening, put 5. You want to begin to organize your team meetings, your one-on-one meetings, write 5 in the chat box. And that's the journey. So like we said, if you want to experience courage is 20 seconds. Okay, 20 seconds at a time. I have only one person typing 5. That's Felicia Olubusola. Everybody else is afraid to do meetings on Zoom. Is that what it means? Or you cannot hear me? If you are here in the house and you can hear me and you want to organize your meetings, you want to begin to have meetings, you want to begin to push, put 5 there. Okay, good. I can see one more person has gathered the boldness. Boldness is 20 seconds. Ask yourself, what will I do if I was 10 times bolder? Be 10xb. What will I do if I was 10 times bolder? Then take 20 seconds and do it. Okay, I can see a few more people gathering courage. Okay, gather the courage, Mrs. Omojokun. I can see Mrs. Daramola. I can see Olami Babayemi. And for everybody else in the house, gather courage. Courage is 20 seconds. Just put yourself for 30 seconds and then allow yourself, your will to carry the rest. 20 seconds. Be 10xb. What will I do if I was 10 times bolder? Once you have a fixed time, you can always organize people around it. And remember, you don't need more than 1 prospect in the meeting. You need 2-3 members and a prospect. And if you have that consistency going on, guess what? Your team will begin to grow. And sometimes you have 2 prospects, sometimes you have 3, and sometimes you have more. Okay, I can see a few more people gaining courage. Book Bam, has pushed to the pedal as well. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody in this meeting, there's enough room for you to organize your small meetings with a group of people, notify them ahead, do the meeting on Zoom, you get the slot, you get some guidance, a few times. And before you know what's going on, you're hosting meetings, and then you're looking for more meetings to host, and then it gets very, very beautiful. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. I hand over back to Olamiji to put the meeting to a close. Well done for the work today. Have a beautiful night, everyone.
Okay, thank you, CM Sir, for the short input. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us tonight. Let me stop recording.